Are you somebody that likes spending 12 hours a day online posting conspiracy theories about Jews or ranting about immigrants, trans people, and single mothers as threats to Western civilization, or quoting Hitler, or even going so far as to wear a mask, carry a swastika flag, and scream racial slurs in public? Do you ever realize that during your quest to save the white race, you've adopted the most hated ideology in the history of humanity and worship a genocidal dictator that plunged the world into the bloodiest war in history? Do you ever do these things and think to yourself, hey, this is a little fucked up? Expecting these people to have a moment of clarity is like expecting Joe Rogan not to hump a stool during a stand up special. But I don't want to do the standard liberal thing of scolding and finger wagging and throwing around the word fascist because that does not work. My basic point is that racism is gay. I don't like using that word as a pejorative, but it's the only language these guys can understand. Racism is cringe, it's lame, it's outdated, it's crap, it's shit. It's awful. It's been rotting the souls of my fellow white people for eons and has made our lives as a group inexorably worse. Now you're going to call me fat or a cuck or woke, but believe me, I'm coming to you honestly. I'm not doing some clickbait, dopamine farming, engagement bait shit. I'm saying that if you can't grow out of this edgy phase and take the world for how it is and develop the necessary outlook to survive, racism will ruin your life. It's true that all this racialized discourse, if you want to call it that, is grating, stupid, and only serves to turn people against each other. We all see tweets, oh, white people eat mayonnaise and do genocide and don't season their chicken. It's annoying. But the thing is, I've seen it hundreds, if not thousands of times over the years. I don't let it get to me anymore. I don't care what some extremely online, brain-cooked schizophrenic thinks. I don't let words of strangers determine my self-worth. I look at it as an individual, in a sense, but more on that later. And yeah, people need to examine their bizarre racial hangouts because I do see a lot of dehumanizing, fucked up shit. And I'm not saying that whites can never be criticized. We do some fucked up shit, okay? And I know, ooh, guilty white man. Believe me, it's not that kind of video. So if you think it is, you can click off of it right now. But it's just there's this idea, there's this like fatalism that white people all need to die or are all irredeemably racist and evil and blah blah blah. And if you're going to sit there and tell me it doesn't happen, just search the phrase white people on Twitter. Check out woke Twitter, check out some parts of Reddit. It's pretty fucked up. The left needs a different approach when dealing with this kind of shit. I don't know if I'm really in the business of giving advice to the left. I really consider myself to be on the left. I'm just calling a spade a spade. But I see what the left is doing. They need a different approach to this kind of stuff. No more fear porn. No more jacketing everyone as a fascist. No more just clinging to this like liberal morality and all this goofy shit. We got to leave that in the past. Simply put, if you want to steer a generation of young white men away from racism, then you're going to have to treat them as humans and listen to their problems. And of course, these young white men will have to meet you halfway and understand how their views are destructive to not only themselves, but society as a whole. That starts with getting away from this rigid way of thinking and perhaps putting ideology aside as a whole. More on that later. And no, I'm not doing this whole, oh, whites are oppressed, this is white genocide shtick. Because quite frankly, there's a lot of whites out there who need to get their shit together. Frankly put, if you're white and concerned with being hated, then just acting like a bigger racist isn't the way to fix things. Oh, this black person called me a mayo monkey. They called me a cracker. I have no choice but to call him the N-word now and throw up some Sieg Heils for good measure. You have to grow the fuck up. You're not some Aryan trad warrior. Chances are you're a skinny fat Best Buy worker in your 30s who jerks off to anime. Thinking you're racially superior to anybody because of the tone of your skin is ridiculous. And yes, it cuts both ways. But I think white people need to be reminded of this right now. Thinking that you're superior and you never need to listen to criticism and all your thoughts and actions are okay, or thinking you're owed something just because you're white is holding you back from a happy life. I think this is what leftists mean when they say that white supremacy will destroy you. Now, call me woke and cry. We all have to be more conscious of the vibe we give off, not only online, but in real life. We all have lives to live. We all have to live and work around real people. We have to participate in society somewhat, seething because you see a mixed race couple or because someone's playing a Bluetooth speaker is pathetic. I hear all this talk from right-wing guys about there's no community and everyone's out to get them because they see some mean tweet or some Democrat politician says something woke or whatever. God forbid you have to step out of your comfort zone and make friends with someone who doesn't look like you. I work with some Mexican people and they're great. I tell them I'll hide them under my floorboards when ice comes, but they can't cook any beans under there because they'll smell it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That was a terrible joke. Quite frankly, I think we should let more Mexicans stay and deport some of these white libs. Imagine ICE going after some hipster doofus in Portland who runs a vegan yoga studio. Imagine a white Karen getting put in a van after she called the cops on some black kids playing in her yard. There we go. I didn't fuck that up too badly. I talk about these things because I've lived them. I've hung out with some questionable people and some fucked up beliefs for a while. And looking back on it now, it didn't make me happy or feel more fulfilled. I was just angry and paranoid all the time. It was miserable. And I had zero self-awareness the same way as a lot of these guys. I would say fucked up shit and have the gall to get mad when people called me out. I'm only suggesting that black people are genetically inferior. Why are they upset? It all goes back to like the race IQ, science, race realism, Jared Taylor shit. I did this stupid shit because I thought it would be helping white people, and it just made white people look worse. I see so many young guys, most of them far younger than me, get caught up in this shitty mindset. They build these echo chambers and say the same bullshit day in, day out. And if anyone suggests a new way of thinking or looking at things, they flip out and shit themselves. Yeah, leftists do it too, but right-wing circles are infinitely more toxic and stupid. They claim whites are the superior magical race, but feel insecure around black guys. They say whites are so smart, yet they're all a bunch of weak, useless cucks being brainwashed by Jews. But if we just post one more meme denying the Holocaust, we'll all get to live in Hyperborea and have big-titted anime girls bring us raw milk on our thrones. Like I said before, I got dragged into this shitty right-wing bullshit because I was propagandized and led on by assholes posting rage bait and conspiracy theories. If you think you're immune to propaganda, you're fucking stupid, man. And I'm not judging you for it. We all fall victim to it. I was propagandized, same as a lot of these guys. Most of these guys, in fact. I was constantly told that white civilization was this amazing, infallible thing, but a few immigrants or some pro-gay laws could destroy the whole thing. I would see horrible videos or stories about migrant crime or some statue getting knocked over or some athlete kneeling at a football game and stew in misery, thinking the country had been taken over by this woke gay communists and that they all wanted to kill me. I thought I was smart because I was red-pilled. Red-pilled. I said disgusting, fucked up things about women and minorities because I thought I was speaking truth to power by rejecting wokeness or diversity or communism or whatever boogeyman they were going on about. Seriously, all these guys, they sit online every day. Their whole thing is that they're scared. They're scared of literally everything. But so much of this, it was all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You're being lied to by people who make money by causing you to click on these things. It's all just this big cycle, this big system to drag your energy away from doing something useful and just watch this shitty content. But we'll talk about that more later. But, you know, I see guys like Ben Shapiro or Tim Pool or Andrew Tate still posting and saying all this bullshit. It pisses me off. The fact of the matter is that whatever media counteracts the right, whatever left-wing media is out there, whatever truthful media out there is totally and completely incapable of stopping the sheer size of this all-encompassing right-wing propaganda network. But I'll talk about that in another video. I think some left-wing people might agree with me there. It's like David versus Goliath, only there's like 7 Goliaths. It's not good. Back to individualism. I know people scoff at it, but I believe it has its merits. One day I had this moment of clarity myself. I had been led to believe I was superior to these brown people for so long. And yeah, I'll admit, it was fucked up. But one day I looked at myself in the mirror and I had this sort of epiphany. I'm a fat, balding, blue-collar alcoholic with a bad back. Who the fuck am I superior to? I look at myself as an individual. I look at myself, the impact I have on the world. I look at what I bring to the table. You know, what can I do to improve myself? And this racism shit, it wasn't helping me at all. This weird racial collectivist shit, it wasn't helping me at all. And you could You could add more people to that, but we'll just keep it with the right wing. We'll keep it on topic. But can I really sit back and judge LGBT people or immigrants or anybody on the left when I'm literally broke and haven't had a girlfriend in years? Ladies, I'm single. When I'm stuffing burgers into my face or playing a video game, I realized the right really had nothing to offer me. I don't necessarily think the left has all the answers either, but I'll talk about that in another video as well. I'm just a guy trying to live my life, and like I said before, I have to exist in society and be an active participant in it. I can't just close myself off to life experiences because it doesn't fit into some stupid racist worldview. I have to be around different people, go to different places, listen to different music, see different things, and in this diversifying country, it's just going to become more common. And after all these years of struggling and arguing about it, I'm finally coming to peace with it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I know that's a thought-terminating cliche, but hey, man, the world is changing. The thing is, we have to adopt a different mindset. And let me get into my next point here. In conclusion, I'll say this. I think the left-right divide is stupid. I think a lot of the ideology is bullshit. I think they're trying to default to old ideas won't work, and we need to break free of this rigid way of thinking because our world is changing every single day, and new challenges might not be solved by old solutions. I believe that we as a country have enough resources to make life better for most of the planet. I don't believe in this stupid idea that just because one group is struggling, we have to focus on the group that's struggling more. Enough of this division. And I know there's other groups that fit into that designation, but we can care about everybody. We can help so many people with the resources and the money we have. You know, I mean, that makes you sound like some woke hippie, so be it. But we can help more people if we get away from this division, if we start seeing people as humans and not problems to be solved or some biological waste to be gotten rid of. We can come to the table on issues like immigration, guns, LGBT crime, the family unit, tradition, whatever else, and discuss the merits and drawbacks like adults. We can talk about these things, how they affect other people. And I'm not just talking to the right here. I'm talking to everybody here. We all have to, you have to be able to defend your worldview. You have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to see beyond this left-right dichotomy. Because these issues, all these things, are very complex, require nuance that's being robbed from this conversation by these asshole ideologues. But we have to have these discussions. We have to be willing to listen to perspectives other than our own, or we won't be able to survive as a species. Not everything has to be some debate, some ownage thing. We just have conversations and talk to each other about these things and determine what's true or not, and try to speak some amount of truth in this overwhelming world of bullshit. But I'll talk about that some other point, But before I ramble too much, like personally, I think the right brings up some good concerns about immigration and kind of the destruction of the family unit. I think the left brings up some points about, how we should have empathy and understanding and tolerance for people, and overall kind of the shitty nature of labor in and of itself and capitalism as well. I think there's merits in some of these ideologies, some of these ways of thinking, but I want to take the good and leave the bad, and acknowledge which is which, basically. I want to discuss these things freely and explore different viewpoints on them. And quite frankly, I think the schisms formed by social media, news, celebrities, and politics and politicians are standing in the way of understanding each other. We can't get along if we all think we're all trying to kill each other. And quite frankly, we might have to discuss. I'm fucking up. I'm tired. Sorry. We might have to discuss what's to be done with the people who keep stoking division and how much reach we allow them to have. Hey, do we have to think some aspects of free speech, or can we be trusted to understand the impact of our language and the way we shape the world with our words? Those are big questions. and packing them all into a single video, it's just not going to work. But I will leave that. Leave a comment down below. I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts on this kind of thing are. I have some ideas I'm thinking about. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. If you want to give me some money, Cash App link right there. Please give me money. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any things, if you want to call me an asshole, if you want to call me a privileged white bastard, if you want to call me a cuck or a loser or a woke SJW, feel free. I just had to get this shit off my chest. I had to talk about this because if I didn't, it was just going to drive me crazy. I got this YouTube channel now. I just broke 300 subscribers. Might as well start putting up stuff that pisses everybody off. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Thank you all for watching. I will talk to you guys later.